Welcome everybody, how are you? Bienvenidos a todos, ¿cómo están? Okay friends, so yesterday we started to create to design the costume of Pith Rock. I showed you again because I already did that in previous models, or I didn't do that. I think that I did do that. I think I did that with. No, let me think. Don't remember. Maybe with Son Goku. No, I don't remember. Yesterday I showed you how I split the method that I use to split sculptures, meshes for sculptor. For me, that is the best, the most, the better method for split because let's think about you want to split them in a special way. So by doing the thing that I did yesterday, I think that you are able to model something and then use it as an object for split the character. Okay. So today we're going to continue. Let's see if we can finish both arms. We need to merge the fingers with the rest of the hand. What else we have to do? And design the glove. And also the other arm. Okay, so let's get started. And let's start with this. I told you yesterday that I want to continue with the design speed of the globe. We can leave it like that. I think that I'm going to leave it like that. Yes, I'm going to leave it like that. Now I'm going to merge this with hand. This is going to be the original, the transformation. That's too much. This is good. Hello, welcome. Okay, we finish our. Let me smooth this part. Okay, now we split this arm, and now we're going to continue with this forearm, of course, also with the hand. So now I'm going to merge this part here. Here is different, remember, than this one. This one, it is a globe. I join everything here, I merge. As you can see, it is one mesh, and here I'm going to design like some part of a costume, like this one, for example. I'm going to do that because remember that he transformed his body. So look, one part is going to be with the costume, and the other part is going to be with his monster side, okay, with his monster design. Now that I see these references, I am thinking on maybe using this color, but I really would like to add this kind of tentacles. I think that this would be a very good detail, a very good, I don't know, like an extra. But the thing is, if I do that, I need to design maybe some nails too. And also by doing this, I am thinking on maybe joining the nails here. You know, oh no, here is a monster. Good idea. Maybe it's better if I merge this. What do you say? I leave it as separate shapes, so I can use different colors here, or I should join this and leave this one separated, like here. So up is going to be merged, the same color, and here is going to be the monster side. I think that, yes, maybe I should do this. I'm going to merge everything here. Maybe I'm not going to add the tentacles, because if you see all the references, the tentacles like this came from the center of the chest, like from here. If you see all the references, look, that came from the inside. Ooh, that's too much. 0.005. Let's try something bigger. Okay. 0.006. Okay, better. Let's use this. Okay, music stop. I'll go for some water, okay? I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. Let's continue. Hello, Gaurav. Welcome. Hello. I think that you're new. We're creating a sculpture about Hawkgirl defeating these enemies. The other parts are hidden. We have a base, we have her wings, her hair. All of those parts are already hidden. We already created. Let me show you. For example, this. This is the base. The wings. And as you can see, that is the sculpture that we are creating. Right now I am creating this arm, the left arm. This is the goal for this is for 3D printing. That's why I am adding a lot of detail. This is a very challenging project. As you can see, this is day number 112, I think. This is the third project that we are creating here in the channel. And this is the final project for a while of a sculptor, because the next projects are going to be about modeling. We're going to model, create the textures and rigging and animate that character. After we finish this one, we're going to continue with that. So if you don't want to miss any content, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give it a like. That helps a lot. So you are interested in 3D games? I don't know. Yes, I like 3D printing, and sculpting is a little difficult. Yes. Just in case, I am creating this for 3D sculpting. Of course, that is for 3D printing. But as you know, I don't know, you have a 3D printer, or maybe you print some models before. because I don't have a 3D printer. I just, here in the live streams, I create the sculptor for rendering. But after that, I finish the series, if we can call it. In the playlist, you have all the live stream. I off camera, I created the STL files for 3D printer. I don't know if you only print the characters or you create the sculptures, but you know that the process of creating the STL files for 3D printer is something very that you have to be really careful. It is a little bit difficult to do, because sometimes you have some overlapping faces, some gaps that are not good for the process, and you need to fix that for 3D printer. And the fixing process depends on how you want, or how what is the size that you want for your model. So that is very important. I always use like a standard size for all of my sculptures, but if I have a 3D printer, but I don't have it, if one day I have it, I'm going to use a specific size, and all the figures that I already created, I will do I will recreate the STL files to adapt them for my scale. Okay. And if you know about 3D printers, you need to be completely sure about the scale that you're going to use, and depending on that, you are going to split the model. That's why I don't show you that process, because also that process is you have to wait a lot. You just have to press some button, wait until the computer calculates the things that have to calculate, and then you have to start fixing some parts, and then again wait. So I think that is not something that you would like to see. That is very boring, and you should be very focused on that process. But I always show you at the end. If you check my channel, you can see all the sculptures that we already created here in live streams, in other platforms, because I also do live streams in Kick and Twitch, and there I am creating different projects. I share with you of course the final render, and the render that we created here in live stream, and the STL files that I upload in the stores. Of course, that is a version. Sometimes, depending again on what the artist want, they change. They don't use those STL files, and they take the final render files, if we can call it like that, and then they create their own STL files version. Okay. If you want to know more about that, I share a video of an artist that in that video he buys a figure of the Doom Slayer, and he changed a lot of that file and print a small version, and then he creates his own version of a demon in a very giant size and very giant scale, and he print that and do a lot of things to keep it like in a very realistic way. Because after printing, if you know, you have to maybe fix some little holes to cover the lines of the joints. When you print in pieces the character, when you join them, you have to cover those if there is, for example, part of the same arm, and especially if you are creating a very big sculpture. So that video about that artist, I shared that in the Discord channel, in the Discord server. If you want, you can join to our Discord server, and maybe if you want have some questions about 3D, you can ask there in the right channel. And about 3D printing, you have to just to practice. You have to practice a lot. All of this is practice. Believe me, every time that I start a project, every time I start a project, it is like something new for me. It is like something new. It is like I am a beginner here, and just say, okay, I want to do something like this, just in case this monster is this one. If you don't know, is this one. He can change his body. That's why it is half maybe like a dragon and half a demon. Is him, just in case. So you have to practice. You just have to practice a lot. Practice a lot. And play with all the options that you have here. During my live stream, I gave a lot of tricks that I usually use for my process. For example, when I split for example, yesterday, the live stream yesterday, I showed you the split. Today we already did that. How I split my models, because if you go to ZBrush and, for example, Nomad Sculpt in an iPad, you have very specific tools that you just only draw a line here, or maybe a circle, or maybe some shape, and just by that you split the mesh. In Blender, I do not use that because a lot of times that when I split a character, I don't just draw a line. I create a specific shapes, very complex shapes. So Blender is not going to be good like trying to recreate something like that. So I create another shape and use Boolean modifier. That's a trick that I use for sculpting. Also, another important thing that I use for sculpting, when there are I try to split my model, because by split the model, I can control the number of faces. You can see here the number of faces here in this corner, and depending on this, I know how much detail I can add to that part. Also, another very, very important thing that I always do, you can check all the live streams, before I do remesh, I join the blocking, of course. I always apply a scale. Also, that's another important thing. Always apply a scale, not location and rotation. No, because I always use local transformation. At the end of the process, when you are 100% sure that is the final version, and you already paint the character and already create the render, then you apply all the transformations. But during the process, not. That's how I do things. At the beginning, I do the other way, and it was very complicated, but later I always start to use local transformation. Another trick that I also use is pieces, smaller pieces. For example, these fingers, these toes here, in this case fingers here, because before I merged this, there were separated pieces. I always scale that to 20, and then apply a scale, and then use the remesh value, trying to, depending on how much detail I need, I always play between 150,000 and 250. 150,000 and 250,000. Between those values, I always try to keep my meshes before adding a lot of detail. And then I just return to object mode, yes, and then I return to the original scale with 0.05, and then apply the scale, and then I keep the proportions and all of that. That's some tricks that I use. If you want to know more about that, I am preparing some videos, but first I need to finish other videos that I am working on. It is very difficult for me to create videos because I need to create a script to try to make it more simple, the video, that everyone can understand, because I'm being in that position. And also, as an artist, I continue learning. So if I check a video, I want to know, I would like to see a very simple video for me to understand. That's why it is very difficult for me to create the scripts. but I am working on that. Maybe in that video I will maybe create a video about tricks that I use for 3D sculpting. The same way for 3D modeling, the same way for materials, for rigging. But in the live streams, you see everything. You see a lot of things that I do. So if you want to follow the process, please remember to subscribe. And also, if you want to participate, or maybe you have some questions here in the live stream, I usually try to help you with that. Also, I always use my own body to create this as reference, especially, for example, now I am with my hand trying to create this position with one side, and with the other hand I am using the mouse to sculpt the details that I see in my hand. It's very important to use reference. Unless you are an expert in anatomy, try always to use reference. Always is very important to have references. That's why you can see here that I have a lot of images. In this case, look, these muscles, I use this for this part. Okay. And I asked you a question very specific to a problem. Okay, please let me know. I will try to help you. I want to apply a 3D texture to a sculpt at the specific parts, but it's applying everywhere. Okay, I never did that. I know a method to do that. I was thinking about doing that here in my sculptor, but I am not in that part yet. But the thing is that you should be really with the UVs. You have to be really careful with the UVs. By 3D texture, you mean an image. For example, I don't know. For example, let me show you. For example, this. For example, this. If you want to apply, let's say to the whole body, something like that. Are you asking something like that? If you are talking about that, and try to add that to the whole body, okay, one thing that you have to keep in mind that you are going to not need a lot of topology to do that. Especially, that's why try to use it in very specific parts, and don't create something like this, because I don't know how I'm going to handle this model, because it is very big, a very big project. Okay, but you have to check your UVs. The UVs are very important there. You have to create, what I will do is to create a retopology of that part, create the UVs, divide my model, split the UVs, of course, and then move those UVs in the right position of the texture that you want, and then apply the But I don't remember. I don't remember which options you have to manage here. I don't remember. I will try to search that today, okay? To search for a video about that, and I will share that in the Discord server, okay? Okay. I don't remember which options you have to use to join the texture to the UVs. I think that there are no materials. I don't remember if there is a modifier. I don't remember. But the things that I already told you is how you need to manage your character. And after that, you have to, of course, add more topology because you want to see like the texture in your character, and it is going to be 3D. If I am talking about the sculptures, remember, then you are going to like transform that into solid mesh. The texture. Okay, so I will search some videos about that, and I will search that. I will share that on the Discord server. When I use how I usually add textures, not textures. I use alphas. I don't usually use textures. In this case, I wanted to try here for this character, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that because I already told you you're going to need a lot of topology, and my project is really big. Of course, that you have to decimate after you do that. But if I don't use that, I will share that video with you. But for you to know, I don't use textures. I use only alphas in some parts. Also, for example, in the model that I created about Hulk from the Hero Marvel Rivals, I created that in here. I sculpted that Hulk here. I don't use any texture in any alpha. I just use simple brushes to recreate the style of the character. Yes, but I will find some videos, so I will share that to the Discord server. The only thing that I don't remember is which option you use here to connect the texture to the mesh. That's the only thing that I don't remember. But again, I will do maybe a retopology to have a simple mesh, a very low poly version of the mesh. That low poly version, I will create the UVs and then placed in the right place. Move that in the right place, the UVs in the right place of the texture. Then if you apply the modifier, I don't remember how you apply that, but after while you are playing with these settings here, you need to, of course, add a modifier that will increase the size. I think that multi-race is a good option, because with subdivision you will need to add you will need to add you will need to play with bevel, for example. No, and you don't want to do that. Maybe remesh is multi-res, sorry, not remesh, multi-res. But I will share that video, so please join to the Discord server. I will search for that and I will share with you. Separating the mesh with marking seams and using displace modifier. But you are using, for example, low poly mesh. Yes, displace. I use that for the rocks because in the previous version of the character I was using rocks, and I use displace to add the yes displace. I think that I already deleted in this file the rocks that I was using. Here I have a lot of modifiers. I think the displace because I use textures. Yes, that is a modifier. Yes, I didn't remember, sorry. But yes. I use textures. I bring textures to my sculpt with that modifier. Here I cannot show you because I already deleted those things that I don't use. In the original idea, I was trying to create some rocks, but I didn't like that, so I delete those. But yes, with textures, you apply with that modifier. Let me see if I can find something. Uh, but if you want a specific explanation, I will find a video and I will share that to you. Yes, I remember. Now that you say the name of that modifier, I remember that I used that here to create some rocks. But I didn't like those objects as part of the final version, so I delete those. I have that in a previous file. Let me see. Let me open. Okay. Let me open. Let me close this one just for a moment, and let me show you that how I create the rocks, so you have like an idea of how I added. Let me close this. Let me open a previous. Let me see if this one. Let me see this one. If I have the rocks here. Let me see. I think that I have the rocks here. Base. These rocks. I already applied the modifier. No, I don't like that. I already applied the modifier here. This one. No, I already applied modifiers. No, it seems that I already applied the modifiers here. I already applied all the modifiers. Let me see, one moment, backup. Here. Look, so I use texture. Yes, the displace modifier. I use that. Here are the textures that I use. I bring also another textures. I don't remember. Here in this texture. Hello, Miguel. Welcome. I am trying to help Gaurav here. He's having a question about. He has a question about textures to sculpts, and I am trying to show him how I add textures. In this case, for these rocks, I use those textures with the displace modifier. In this case, I apply the texture to the whole mesh, but I think that if you want to create, for example, a superhero costume, something like that, you should create UVs. With UVs, it is easier to do that. But I am saying that I don't remember the specific process because I don't use that for my sculptures. So I am saying that I'm going to find a video about that and I will share that to the Discord server. So maybe that will help you, Gaurav. So let me go back to the file that we are using right now. Yes, please join to the Discord server so I can share that with you. Okay, so right now we are working in this hand. I'm going to leave it maybe like this, enough details for now. Later, of course, I'm going to use more details. I'm going to add more details. Let me see here if I have like No, don't worry. don't worry. That's why this project is taking me so long, because sometimes I am talking with you, but that's the point of the live streams. That's the point. If I came here and just be in silence and no pay attention to you, why I should continue doing this? The important thing here is to participate with the community. So I think that for now I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to leave it like this. Here. Now that this is a solid piece, here, for example, I'm going to smooth this. Let me see. It is good. It is a one mesh. It is the same mesh. That's why I am smoothing this part. Here I can add more of these details. Here, let me see. Okay, I am looking at my hand. And Gaurav, you are creating what kind of character you are creating that you need textures? you want to use a neat effect on a cute dog model, leaving eyes and nose parts unaffected. Neat is about clothes. Sorry. Neat is about clothes. Okay, maybe. And what problem are you having? You're having. I was separating the mesh. Maybe you don't need to do that. Maybe you don't need to do the process that I'm going to share with you. I was thinking maybe, for example, an alpha like this one. Let me show you. Let me go here, temporary blender, alphas. I don't know. Let me, for example, make. I thought that you were trying to add something, for example, like this, for example, in a whole piece. I thought that you were trying to add something like this in a, I don't know, a part of a cloth, of a costume that you would like to see in a very proportional way, distributed that in the mesh, over the mesh. I thought that you were thinking something about that, but if you want to do something like a skin or that need but maybe the need you want a specific maybe yes now I understand. Okay, I will share that video with you, because if you ask me about the skin and all those kind of things, I will use alpha, and maybe I will try to replicate the thing that I did with the rock. Yes, I understand. Maybe you need a lot of detail. Something that I did with the rock. With the rock I didn't split the model, I didn't create a UV. For the rock I just add the texture. Maybe you can try the thing, just add the displays and add the texture to see the result. But if you want a specific, for example, if you are creating like some kind of, sorry, I am going to use another example, like for example a teddy bear, like a toy, then you have to divide the arms, the legs, the head, the ears, for example, and try to add the texture to each specific part. That is a little bit complicated. Yes, so if you have a whole mesh and you don't want that texture to the whole mesh, maybe you should just use alphas. Just use alphas. Don't use the whole texture of the whole mesh, because again, if you want it, let me try to draw something here very quick. For example, I was thinking, maybe let's say here. Okay, let me draw here. Maybe this is the head. Okay, these are the ears. I thought that you wanted something like this. For example, you want the whole texture to the whole mesh. You want the whole mesh. So for that you have to, of course, separate your mesh and draw the UVs, and that is going to be again a little bit complicated, but you're going to need a lot of topology to give it a very and of course you have to decimate a lot. If you want, and of course, for example, the nose is going to be unaffected. This is going to be a different, so you have just keep it as a separate piece, just like I have my pieces here separated. Of course, the eyes, I don't know, the mouth you told before, I don't know. But if you want like something like this, for example, again, leave this separated, your eyes, let's say this, okay? But if you only want some parts, for example here, for example here, for example here, just use alphas. Alphas is a very great a really great resource. But for you, if you are creating something with something related to clothes, like you are creating like that teddy bear with the dog, as you are saying, maybe this is better. Try to keep your parts separated, and that will give you also the effect that it is a really it is a toy. I don't know how to the word in English, but it is in this case a teddy bear. It is a toy. It is a toy for a child. You need to, for example, in the side, let's say that this is the side of the teddy bear, okay? Here in the side, if you check the side view, okay, you are going to show by the UVs that the texture is one side here and the texture here is another side, and that will create the effect that you want. But again, you have to be really careful because you're going to need a lot of topology. So you have here with the rock, I don't recommend unless you want just to sculpt this, but I think that not. The rock that I showed you, it was a rock because it was the rock is like this. And after applying that texture to the rock, I was sculpting details. So the texture was just only for the blocking. The texture, if you saw the texture, it was not a specific texture. It was very smooth, that helped me to create the distortion over the mesh. That's why I use the textures. Okay, so you have to keep in mind that. Let me erase all of this. So I will share that video with you, and then you have to decide what you want. But the rock, I recommend you the thing that I show you with the rock. I think that you don't like to do that because the displays not only create like the texture all over the mesh, it also modify the mesh. So my rock was original this. Let me show you. My rock was original this, like this, for example. But with the texture, with the displays that I show you, with the texture, the rock transformed into this, a very irregular mesh trying to follow the original, but it was to affect the whole mesh, not to give texture to the rock. So that is a very different result. I don't think that you would like to see this in your example. Okay, friends, so this is all for today. I have to go now to Twitch to continue with the other project. So tomorrow I will try to, of course, here we need to add more detail, but we already have the final, let's call it the final mesh. Now I have to join this part of the arm, this part of the arm to the body. But also first I need to divide the body. And the next part that we're going to divide is the head. We're going to divide the head. And where is the... I couldn't find... sorry, let me activate the screencast. Okay. Okay, friends. So this is all for today. I need to go now to Twitch to continue with the other project. Uh, I'm going to tomorrow we're going to split the head. We're going to start working on the details of the face, and then we have the more complicated and challenging part that is going to be how we're going to divide them. No, this is not going to be complicated. This is not going to be complicated because this is a whole mesh. Yes. We also will be able to draw to join this with no problem. The challenging part is going to be with this and the rest of the body. That is going to be the challenging part, and also the way that I want for my legs. I think that I'm going to change a little bit the design of my legs because that will allow me to create. Maybe I will split the model. That will allow me to add more details to the clothes. Okay. And to keep the bigger part with the rest of the body. I think that I'm going to do that. So I will be able to add the details for the character. So friends, this is all for today. Please remember to subscribe, give it a like, share this content with others, and leave a comment below. Also, please follow me on my other platforms, Twitch and Kick, where I am creating different projects there. Also, you can follow me on X, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me at Franz Lazarco online. Always Franz Lazarco. You have all the links here in the YouTube page. You have all the links here in the YouTube page. If you want me to collaborate with your project as a freelancer, you can contact me. There is my email there. Also, there is the LinkedIn page, the social media accounts. You can create a project on Upwork and CD Trader and send me a messenger too. If you want, you can join our Discord server. You can share things about 3D and games. Maybe you can ask questions, and we will try to help you. We're a small community, but we are growing. Okay, step by step, we are making this community bigger. And of course, we need the help of everyone, the community. I will find that video. I will find a video about the problem that Gaurab is asking me. I already explained you in a very general way the ideas for that project. But I think that you will need something more specific. Maybe you are not going to use that, but I would like to share that with you, so you're going to find that very useful. I was thinking on using that in this project, but I think that it is too much. And I don't know if that will be something that we would like for our project. What else? If you want to know what kind of computer I am using, you can check the Kitco link. I already uploaded all the components that I use for my PC. Remember that my PC is I use my PC for 3D art, for games, and for streaming. So if you are looking for a reference, I remember when I was looking for some references to build my computer a year ago. Years ago, because I made a lot of research like 2 years to try to build my computer, because I didn't know nothing about computers, so I need a lot of research. I was looking at other artists and always ask them about the equipment that they use. I have different answers, but nothing specific. So in this case, I am sharing with you a site where you're going to find each component. The things that you see there, that's what I am using. Of course, the only thing that it is not there is the UPS, because I don't know if maybe you in other countries you should use that, but that is I buy that one here in my country, and I think that it is not very great brand of UPS. But it is working for me. So that is the only thing that it is not in the components in that site. In that site, you're going to find the links for all the components, and those links send you directly to Amazon, where you're going to find more information about each component. And what else? If you want to support the channel, remember that super thanks, super chats are already activated. Also, there is a PayPal link there. And even better, you can get one of my models. If you want assets for your games and animation, you can visit my TurboSquid store. If you want sculptures like this one for 3D printing, you can visit my Cost 3D store. And also you have CG Trader, a third option where you're going to find both assets and sculptures. Remember that every project that I finish, I already upload that automatically to the right platform. Okay. So maybe you have you are working on something and you want something in general, not specific, not exclusive. You can maybe send me messages like I would like to see this kind of assets in your store, so I will create that for everyone. I am open to suggestions. Also, remember that as you can see, I am working in different projects. I will not have that ready like soon, but I will work on that. Okay, friends, so this is all for today. Tomorrow we're going to continue with this. In a few minutes we'll continue on Twitch with the other project. If you want to join, follow me there. And that's all. Thanks for coming. Please remember to subscribe, and see you in the next one.